Shalom. All praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, 𐤄𐤐𐤎. As you can see there, the new moon came in on the 12th of March 2021, in the year of looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. And the Passover is to be kept in the 14th day, according to Leviticus 23 and 5. It also tells us in Numbers 9 and 2, that to keep the Passover, the children of Yahawah, the children of Israel, to keep the Passover in its appointed season. Now, the moon is the sign of the feast, and also it's the lights in the heaven, according to Genesis 1, around the 14th verse, are to give us the times, the seasons, so on and so forth. So knowing that we should keep it in the right season, we know the moon is to dictate and to give us further aid us in our understanding of the times that we're in. That's why that mystery Babylon would look or seek to change times and laws, because really you can never change time. The time is dictated by the clock in the heavens, which is those lights, and the law abideth forever, meaning the law of the Lord rather than man's law. They seek to implement certain things contrary to the scriptures, seek to demonize the righteous power, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. But truly they could never change the times, they could never change the laws. That's what's beautiful about it. But we'll get a few scriptures on this, just for edification, just to bring us to remember certain things. You might look at it around this time every year, but it's not necessarily something you'll be looking at day in, day out. Although Yahawashi is our Passover, so that's something to always bear in mind and keep that upon your conscience, that when we're drinking of his blood, eating of his flesh, he is our Passover. Alright? So we've got Exodus chapter 12 verse 11. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahweh's Passover. So as the elders and apostles were saying on the video I uploaded today, it's not a rap concert, it's not a lamb dinner, it's not something you're taking slow, it's not something you're laughing and joking about and making a lot of folly in. It's a serious thing. Exodus 12 and 27, that ye shall say, is the sacrifice of Yahawah's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Yahawah in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their head and worshipped. And we should always be in there praying without ceasing, bowing our head, worshipping, letting our requests be made, but ultimately more so to glorify the name of Yahawah and his son Yahawashi. Exodus 12 and 43, and Yahawah said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover, there shall no stranger eat thereof. So it's an ordinance. It's the thing that are set in order. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40 said, let all things be done decently and in order. How much more so our Passover, which is an amazingly holy day, a very set apart, very Kodash day. It's to be set apart from the world, from every other day in the calendar. It's a big thing. Exodus 12 and 48, and when a stranger, now it told you that a stranger shall not eat. Now there's many types of strangers, if you like, or should I say there's not just one type of stranger. Certain times you read about a stranger, it'll be of a non-Israelite. Certain times you read about a stranger from Israel. There is someone that's not born in the land of Israel, but knows they're an Israelite, keeps the customs, so on. You might have a stranger that's not born in the land of Israel, doesn't know they're an Israelite, and they're estranged from the customs. There's another type of stranger, so there's not just one type of stranger. Exodus 12 and 48, and when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to Yahawah, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it, and he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. And there's a spiritual aspect to that also. This is Deuteronomy. Excuse the helicopter in the background. Forgive me if you're struggling to hear me. I'll just let it fly overhead. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked or stiff-necked. You have Exodus 34 and 25. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left unto the morning. The next verse as well. It said, the first fruits of thy land shall thou bring unto the house of Yahawah thy power. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. So all of these are referring to the offerings. Right, so the offerings of the sacrifice. Now the Passover sacrifice is, well, I think we have got it already. Right, forgive me, we will read this from the top. Exodus 12, starting at 1 on down. And Yahawah spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Yasharallah, saying, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbour next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man, according to his eating, shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You should take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Yasharallah shall kill it in the evening. Okay. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it, and they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And now we've read the next verse, but we'll continue on. And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahawah's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahawah. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it for a feast to Yahawah throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Yasharallah. Now that's not talking about the first day of the month to the 7th day of the month. That's talking about the first day of the holy season or the feast, the first day of the feast to the 7th day of the feast. It says, Exodus 12 and 16, and in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. So you can't do a workout, you can't do your washing your clothes, your laundry, or whatever. You're gonna have to find another time to do that. But the only manner of work that you can do is that which will require a man to eat, and that man being just meaning a person to eat. So it doesn't mean that women are not allowed to eat, your children are not allowed to eat. It's referring to the work that has to be done. Maybe the work that's being carried out. Salahi about being long-winded with this. The work that is to be carried out needs to be that it's requiring you, your house, to be able to eat. Right? Not any extra stuff. Not anything beyond that. Alright? And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. And we'll leave that there. We'll leave that one there. Really, I should have read that at the start, but that's ultimately how it was set up there. You know what? We'll get straight to the point on this. 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump as ye are unleavened. For even Hamashiach, our Pesach, or Pasach Noah, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Yahawashi is known as that bread of life. Yahawashi is also known as the Lamb, without spot nor blemish. First Peter chapter 1, verse 18 on down. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Hamashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you, who by him do believe in Yahawah, that raised him up from the dead and gave him glory, that your faith and hope might be in Yahawah. And we'll leave that aspect there, understanding Yahawashi is that bread of life. This is John chapter 6, verse 48. It's red letter, it says, I am that bread of life. So this is the true bread. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Matthew 4 and 4, Luke 4 and 4. You also have Deuteronomy 8 and 3. It says, and he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahawah doth man live. So this is the bread that is to sustain us, is the word of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. And when we keep this feast, we do keep literal, physical, unleavened bread. We do eat a literal, physical lamb. But it's all symbolic, it has a spiritual resonance. It's not like we're eating and drinking of the wine. We'll get that as well. So get Matthew 26, and what was going on in this chapter. Well, I've given it away there, so Matthew 26, and we'll start at 19. And the disciples did as Yahawashi had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. So this is when Yahawashi himself, as the Passover, he did keep the Passover. Next verse. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12, and as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? And he said unto him, Thou hast said. And as they were eating, Yahawashi took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." So you also have the blood, the wine. That's what that is representative of. That's why I said when you eat his flesh and you drink his blood, that's also all going into John the 6th chapter, St. John the 6th chapter, which I would suggest you to read also as well, coming into this season and getting into the mind of the feast coming up and into the meditation upon Pesach and the things surrounding, the events surrounding, looking at what's going on in the world, what's going on for us, what's going on prophetically. It's all very important because we know we will be tried. We know there will be a heavy time to come, right? So it's all the more important to get into this and really understand what it's about. You don't want to eat unworthily. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 1 Corinthians 11 and 20 on down. "When you come together therefore into one place, this is not to eat the Lord's Supper. For in eating every one taketh before other his own supper, and one is hungry and another is drunken. What? Have ye not houses to eat and to drink in? Or despise ye the church of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, and shame them that have not? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not. For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahawashi, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye, as oft as ye drink it, in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do shew the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body." So we will leave that there. I do pray it was edifying. And on to the next one, Lord willing. Giving all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, 𝐤�𐤐𤐿𝐿.